And we are live.
Hi, and welcome to this 12th episode.
Of Heal the Healer show.
12th episode of the Heal.
Yeah, we're having a lot of technical difficulties here, but we're live now. I know it looks a little bit different. We're here with Xane Daniel, and thankfully it was him as our guest today because he saved the day and it has broadcast from some software that he's using. So we will put the links in and how you can get in contact with everyone and Xane. But just wanted to start off by, well, thank you, Xane. Thank you so much. And I know people are really interested in what you do. Can you talk a little bit about what your specialty is?
Sure, absolutely. Okay, well, my specialty, it's like I'm doing so many things at the same time, it's hard to narrow it down. But really, the specialty, I work with the hathors, which is an extra dimensional collective similar to the Pleiadians or to the Arcturians. They're very powerful, and they were incarnated here on Earth during Egypt's golden age. There are temples, or at least one temple, that is just dedicated to the hathors. So what I'm able to do with them is something called the soul essence activation. That is my main modality. And what that is it's bringing the best versions of your past incarnations forward into your current one as it relates to your life's purpose. So I can do this using the energy centers of the body. In many cases, it's the chakras or the meridians. Doesn't really matter, but each one has a different result. So that is kind of how it all got started. And from there, it's really branched off because there's been so many different things that I've been able to do with the hathors, including removing negative entity attachments, removing burdens that you've been carrying with you. And it really just goes on, and activating crystals. And so, there's been a lot just from their amazing power and their amazing abilities. And it's fun because I get to just experiment, and it seems like it just keeps working and working and working, whatever it is that we try. So
That's wonderful. And how did you get into that? How did you discover the hathors and your ability to connect and channel them?
So I was raised by scientists. So I was raised in a household where there was no religion at all, no spirituality. We all believed that you were just these biological beings, and then you die, and then that's it. And that was so prevalent in our basic conversation that it wasn't even a consideration. My father was an electrical engineer. My grandfather was a chemist, mechanical engineers, just all engineers all around me. And so I was just raised in that environment. And so it took a lot really for me to have that sort of transformation, which was essentially a wake up moment that came from an ayahuasca experience. Mm-hmm. And I had that ayahuasca experience in 2013. And that really changed everything, because during that experience, which was very short lived, it was an underdosage, actually. All I got to do was speak to the voice of universal knowledge. And I could just sit there and ask any question that I wanted to. And I knew immediately that it was the voice of universal knowledge. Mm-hmm. And then I just went, oh, what about all that science stuff? Who cares? Bye. And then just started talking to this universal knowledge voice, and then discovered that the universal knowledge voice stayed with me. So at any time, I could just ask it information, ask it questions. And so, it taught me that I was being greedy because I believed in the capitalist society as the best approach. It taught me that I didn't love enough, and I didn't understand what love actually was, and so on and on. So that was the big transition moment for me.
Ayahuasca. And sorry, I just jumped right into it, guys, but I'm conscious of the time and the delay that we have, but we do have April Angel. She's going to be our moderator. So if you have comments or questions for Xane, just go ahead and leave them in the comments, and she'll read them off for us. And if you've had an ayahuasca experience, let us know as well, and if that changed your life. I know April did, because she's shared with me in the past too, and I saw her nodding. But it's amazing the transformation in a moment that you can have. Have you kept your connection to universal source, to universal knowledge since that moment?
Yeah, I definitely have. I mean, it takes a little bit more to get into it than it did while I was on it, but yes, I can definitely do that. And or I can, kind of do automatic writing and then it comes out. So my channeling ability isn't like I'm a trance channel like you, Heidi. It's a little bit more. It just comes out a lot of times when I'm talking to somebody, I'm excited about something that I'm saying or that they're talking about. Then all of a sudden, oh, okay, I know I'm channeling this information.
Yeah, that's amazing, and that's actually how I
My
verb
question
channeling. Oh, sorry, Jolianne, go ahead.
my question is, how does a scientist get to trying ayahuasca?
Right. Yeah, that is a beautiful question. And it's kind of funny because I was not interested in it and really wasn't interested in any of the plant medicines. But my girlfriend at the time and her family was into it, which was kind of funny. So they were the ones that just kept pushing it on me. They were the ones like, here, do this, try this, do this. And I was reluctant, but just went, okay, everybody else is doing it, I guess. And so I got peer pressured essentially into it. And in the ayahuasca case, it was done by an amateur. So he did not know anything about the rituals or the it was just like, here, have this. And I was like,
dangerous a little bit.
okay, try it. No,
Very
because
dangerous.
so what's interesting about it is that if you really all the rituals and there's a word I'm missing for that. It's not ritual, it's like a ceremony. The ceremony is to help raise the vibration of the individuals who are taking the medicine. If your vibration is already high, then it isn't nearly as necessary, which was the case, but I didn't even know it at the time. So that's why it worked out just fine for us.
Yeah, I've never done it myself, but I do know that like if you take it at a vibration that's not matched, you can have a very different experience. And so I would always check in with the shamanic practitioner or whatever the ceremony guides are as well. But that's amazing that you had that experience and that you that universe was pushing you into that experience, through your girlfriend, through your family, and it just opened you wide up. Did you ever look back at taking up a career in science or the capitalist world after that?
Well, I was a producer in the video game industry and I was that for 22 years. So I definitely followed that route. So I was working with engineers and artists and designers and audio engineers. So I was already in that world.
Yeah. And the transition. So I know you guys can see on the corner of the screen, it says the Higher Self Expo. What wonderful segue we have into, because if you just are tuning in, let us know, say hello. But we had some technical difficulties and Xane was very kind and allowed us to use his software to come into the Facebook feed. But what is the Higher Self Expo?
All right. So it is an online metaphysical conference and it's online only. And it's born from COVID, really. It wouldn't be here if it weren't for that. So I travel around the country in a camper van, speaking at different expos, conferences, and festivals. And when, of course, COVID hit, then it's like, oh, okay, now I'm living in my van in one spot and I really can't leave it. And so I thought, well, okay, well, this isn't working out at all. And what I really enjoyed about doing the festivals and the conferences is obviously the speakers and what you're getting out of the group healings, what you're getting out of the insight, what you're getting out of the channelings and all the wonderful things. And I thought, well, there is no reason that we can't do this online, because just like my modality, many of everybody's light workers modalities do work in this sort of interface. So it made total sense to be able to do it like this. And so now that I've been to a lot and now that I've been running my own, I realize the differences are quite subtle. And in many cases, it's a little easier. You don't have to get a hotel room and stay at a hotel for 2 or 3 days. You don't have to leave your house. I mean, you can watch it on your phone or you can watch it on your computer. So it really made a lot of sense to do this. and I get the ability to have these amazing people from all over the world that are the incredible healers and incredible light workers. So this is going to be our second event. It's coming up actually pretty much a week from today. It's September 12th and 13th. This is a 2-day event with 22 speaking slots. So lots and lots of information. And see, this is my software, so I can do this. It is the concept is envisioning our 5D society. So in the previous expo was just didn't have a particular theme, right? But this one does. And I was super motivated and excited about this particular theme because my purpose here is to help usher in that 5D society. And numerologically, the X in my name is all about transforming society. So it is my goal. So I got very excited about the idea of, okay, let's bring in as many people as we can to help people transition through, again, light work, through information, through channeling, like yourself, Heidi, who's also going to be at the event as a speaker. And then also to bring in people who are, interestingly, working hands-on to transform our society. So, for instance, I'm going to be interviewing today Jamie Joyce, who runs the Internet Government, which is a nonprofit organization created to help create a government without politicians. So there's some amazing things that we're actively doing, other than the self-work that we're all doing, that I hope to inspire people and to say, wow, it's not just about Trump and whatever else is going on politically, and high-end CEOs that are doing horrible things to people, but there's lots of people that are really working hard in a 3D sense to bring us to the 4D and then to the 5D.
And I love that excellent explanation, because I feel like we do as a society, we get so caught up in all the negative things that are happening as the patriarchy is dismantling, right? For lack of a better way of describing that. But there are so many light workers in the background just working arduously to make this a better place to live, to make this a society where we can really reach our highest good, or do our highest good, and ascend and align with our higher self. But for those who are watching who don't understand, how would you describe 3D versus 4D versus 5D?
Oh yeah. Okay. This is a good one. Okay. So first of all, the blanket statement is 3D. A 3D society is one that's dominated by fear as its primary emotion, and a 5D society is one that is dominated by unconditional love. Easiest way to quickly sum it up. There's so many more aspects to it, though. So, for instance, a 3D society would look at needing to go to a doctor to be healed, right? But a 5D society heals yourself. And a 4D society is somewhere in between. It's the process of learning, oh, I can heal myself. I don't have to go to another person to do that. And there are so many different things that just come from that concept. So, for instance, before we, in a 3D society, we needed to buy our own cars or maybe use a taxi, right? In a 4D society, now we have Uber, where not only are we using our own cars, but we're using our own cars for each other. We're not having to go to the man, right? And so as we continue to expand, we're able to do more and more things, and we're seeing it already. And that's what's kind of exciting about like the Uber or the DoorDash or whatever. These are individuals that are helping each other, as opposed to going higher and higher up through a hierarchy, which is very 3D.
Wow, I love that. I think that's the best explanation I've had between the 3D and 5D, because I know a lot of people have different interpretations or maybe even misunderstandings, but obviously there's a lot more to it too. And that would be in the Higher Self Expo as well. So I did want to bring it back to what you do, because you said at the beginning of this, before we just went down the rabbit hole of Facebook technical difficulties, that you would do an activation. But I wanted to know first, what, for us, everyone watching, if you so want to partake in it, what type of activations do you do, and what will that do for an individual?
Okay, so lots and lots of different ones. But what I was thinking about today would be to do, there's two that are fairly quick and easy and are pretty powerful. So the first one we would do is we would remove negative entity attachments. Just, it's very, very simple and easy for me to do, and they're gone. And for many people, they're gone for good. Every once in a while, I do run into somebody who they're gone for a little while, maybe a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks, maybe just a couple of hours, and then they come back. And that's one of the things that I teach a class for people like that have the issue where they continuously have that problem. And we can go into that, I'm sure, in a minute. But at the same time, then the other activation is something I just call a burden release activation. And what's really beautiful about that is that you check your body and you're carrying with you, almost everybody is in some way, they're carrying something with them that they no longer need. And we often store our past traumas or our past emotional experiences as physiological experiences. So if you've got a particular weight on your shoulders or a knot in your stomach or whatever the thing is, with this activation, you focus on it, and then the hathors and I evaporate it instantly. And it's a very visceral experience, and people go, oh my gosh, yeah, I can't believe you just did that by saying a word, and it's gone. So those are the two that I was definitely thinking about doing for your audience today.
Oh, great. So if you guys want, let us know how you feel about that. I think we'll do that in about 5 or 10 minutes. We'll let you know. But I did want to ask about your class as well. So you say you teach people how to remove negative entities. That is something, oh my gosh.
Everyone needs that.
I swear, like because I have people I routinely go to, especially when you're immersed in this world, like and Jolianne and April are, we all are. You become aware of those negative entities that are around you all the time. And I don't want to scare anyone that's watching. A negative entity can be an emotion, it can be another spirit, it can be, but just like your spirit in the body, there's spirits outside the body that are around, and they're attracted to our old wounds, our old traumas, and I'm sure Xane can go into way more detail than that. But getting rid of them, moving them on, that is not my specialty. And so I always I think like 4 or 5 times a week, I contact my people to be like, can you clear me? Can you clear me? So what a skill set to be able to learn and to be able to remove them yourself. And I think that's something I never even thought of before, because I'm always thinking, oh, that's not my thing. I'll get somebody else to do it. But if you're able to, and if it's one of your gifts and you can learn to do it, then that's just amazing. So talk about that class, Xane. How long is it? When do you run it?
Right. Okay. So it's a 7-week course, and I'm pretty much running it nonstop. So as soon as one's over, I start the next one. I have a YouTube channel, and what's kind of interesting about that is I, of course, put negative entity attachment removal videos on my YouTube channel, and wow, those have really blown up. And that's where more and more people kept coming to me saying, hey, it worked, but they're back, and I have to keep watching it over and over again. This is really a problem. Okay, well, that isn't what I want. My goal is to bring you from the 3D where you need an external person to bring you to a 4 or 2 or 5D where you can just go ahead and take care of it yourself.
You're the Uber of removal of entities. You need to come up with an app that's similar.
Right. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. I love it. I'm the Uber of negative entity attachments. Okay. So I thought, okay, we've got to be able to do this. And what's been fun and amazing about this experience has been, so for instance, right now I have 11 people in my 7-week course. After the second week, 8 of the 11 people were entity free and entity free for good. They'd already figured it out. But now we're at week, what is it, 5, and I think I still have 1 person left who hasn't gotten rid of her entities. The rest, they're gone.
And when you say they're gone, sorry to interrupt you, but when you say they're gone for good, is it because they've raised their vibration enough? Is that part of what you teach, or?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Because when they are low, and which is many cases the types of people that are coming to me, and they attract them. And so let's say I remove April's negative entity attachment today. And let's say that April's lower vibration. Sorry, April. It's okay. Okay. And so now what's going to happen is that, yeah, it's gone for a couple days, couple hours, couple weeks, but it comes back because she's really powerful. And anybody who's coming to me is extremely powerful. That's a given. And they're so connected to the spirit world that when they're at a lower vibration, they're essentially saying, come on, entities, we got you. Whereas, they don't even realize that they're saying that. So because they're super powerful, then it's very easy to raise their vibration because they're ready for it. They just don't know what they need to do. So I'm bombarding them, and I hate the word bombard, but it's really the right word, because really supplying them with a lot of energy and a lot of very powerful energy through the hathors. So we're raising their vibration, and then I'm teaching what I'm calling the mindset vibration, because you can have your vibration as high as you want from energy work. But if you still think negative thoughts, if you're still worried about everything, if you're still
stressed,
and overrun by trauma and all these things, then it doesn't really matter. You're going to continue to use your own free will to bring your vibration back down and attract those entities back in. So it's really a holistic approach. We've got to cover it from many different angles. And so at the very least, by the fourth week of the class, if you still have entities, which I do, like I said, have one person, they're like, yeah, I know they're there, but it doesn't even bother me anymore. So
this is so important, especially for those working in this field of work, because I just wanted to add to your course how needed this is. When I started working in this field, I was working with people, and I tend to take on other people's garbage. Well, one time I took on 83 entities.
oh my gosh.
And I know how to clear myself up with one or maybe two.
Two max.
83 now. So
Wow.
I had to call, heavy duty people that could be doing that for me, because with the level of energy I had with 83 entities stuck to me, it was so hard. So this clearing myself multiple times a day is necessary for the work I do. But this course, which specializes in entities like that, is needed so bad, because no one wants to be in that position with many entities stuck to them. It's horrible.
Yeah, 83. That's a mob. There needs to be a word. It's like a gaggle or a murder or something. We need a word for that. A herd of entities.
And so even knowing how to clear myself and doing this work, I also found out that I had a negative vortex in my home. So it was just like an open doors to all the negative entities. And so I had to work with many people on that. So this is just like, it's the first time I ever seen a course on this. And it's, like I said, I'm going to say most homes have entities in there, or the land or the environment. And especially if you're living or working with other people, it's easy to, especially for healers, to grab other people's stuff. And you definitely don't want to do that.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with this. Do we have any questions, April?
Yeah. Xane, you already covered, sorry, of course, this is the first time she's noisy. Xane, you already answered the question that we had about 5D from Michael. Jackie is asking, she wants to know if you gave info on the hathors, because she's heard about them, but she doesn't know exactly who they are. And you did at the beginning a little bit, but is there anything else that you would like to share to elaborate?
Well, it's pretty cool. I mean, really, if you type in hathors in Google, you'll even see pictures of what they look like, because there are carvings of them in Egypt.
I'm going to do it. Are they scary?
No, not at all. and what's really cool is also there's a goddess Hathor, which is the head of a bull and the body of a woman. So it's 50% female, 50% male, a yin and yang kind of goddess. So there's a lot of information that you can find about them if you just do a little bit of research on the Hathors. And they, like I said before, they were incarnated on Earth here during Egypt's golden age. I was actually incarnated among them. I have been a Hathor myself, and that is where I learned how to do my main modality, the soul essence activation.
That's so amazing. And so is your connection from that with the Hathors from that past life? I'm just so curious, like, do you have to raise your vibration to connect with them, or do you have like a continual connection with them?
It's a continual connection. Yeah.
So
At this point, I think my vibration is pretty high at this point. I haven't had to do too much to raise it. And because I think I'm one of those that if you're kind of just in my vicinity, your vibration raises too, sort of thing. So
you're one of those, I call them the light pillars, where it's just, because I've given so many readings to people, like amazing light workers who, you obviously have a gift that you're using and promoting, and it's amazing. But there's people here too who have such a high vibration, and their only role is to just be present, be the pillar of light, and raise other people's vibrations. So I really feel that, and I love that.
Right.
And will we go ahead and do the activation?
Yeah.
How do you guys feel? Okay. Do our viewers need to do anything to prepare? Do we need to do anything to prepare?
No, not really. All you got to do is you're going to close your eyes and get into a comfortable position, and it'll be about a 5 or 10 minute little meditation.
Okay.
So just go ahead and do that. Close your eyes and get comfortable. And I want you to take a nice big deep breath in and relax as you exhale. Feel yourself sinking into the chair that you're sitting in. Feel the temperature of the room on your skin. Feel the breath moving in and out of your nostrils. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove negative entity attachments. This is a very simple process. I'm simply going to say breath in, and when I do, you'll take a nice big deep breath. You'll hold it at the top, and then I'm going to say the keyword awaken, at which point you can exhale. Removing negative entity attachments. Breath in. Awaken. Good. I received feedback, energetic feedback as to how successful it was, and I received very good feedback from that. So now what I want you to do is, and I always like to remove the negative entity attachments first in case they get in the way of this next one. What I want you to do is check your body for discomfort. Is there a spot where you feel a weight, a pain, a heaviness? Something that you've been carrying with you possibly your entire life, and maybe you haven't even tuned into it. You haven't even noticed it. Ideally, this is due to an emotional experience. You can still apply this to a physical only experience, but for best results, it'd be ideal to find one that is not based on a physical experience. So just keep checking and find that spot. And I want you to think about how you might describe this experience to someone else. Just think about what it is. Is it a pain? Is it a weight? Is it just what kind of discomfort is it? And then I want you to see if you can try to enhance it, make it feel worse. If it has felt worse in the past, remember what that feeling was and try to bring it to the surface, because we're really going to root it out. So the more you can feel it, the better. And don't be afraid to dive into it. It's going to go away, so you're not going to have to worry about it anymore. So move in without fear. And if you can remember the situation that caused it in the first place, as long as you don't have PTSD, then recall that moment, recall the thing that happened, and see again if you can enhance the feeling, this negative feeling, because it's related to that experience. And so now, once you've got that good, solid in your mind and solid in your body, then I want you to imagine that I've injected you with a colored dye. You choose the color, and this dye is moving through your body and attaching itself. It's being attracted to this discomfort area. So now, not only can you feel what it feels like, but you could see what it looks like, as though you're looking at yourself through an MRI or an X-ray machine. And so you can notice the shape of it. Is it the shape of your musculature? Is it a blob? Is it a cloud? Are there sharp little spikes? Whatever the shape is, doesn't matter. Just see it, feel it, and remember the experience that caused it in the first place. And keep focusing on this all the way through the activation. Breath in. Awaken. Good. Okay, so now you might start to notice the feeling drifting away. And if you don't, that's okay. It will go away in the next 5 or 10 minutes. But if you are noticing it going away, then try to bring it back. Try to say, oh yeah, it's this feeling right here. Where is it? And see if you can recall it again. It's generally not going to be easy to find. So what I would like for you to do now is take another nice big deep breath. And I want you to notice the sensation at the bottoms of your feet. I want you to notice the sensation on the top of your head. And then when you're ready to move forward with your life, lighter, fresher, and more excited about everything coming around the corner or coming your way, when you're ready for all of that, then you can open your eyes.
That felt really good. Let us know in the comments, you guys, if how that felt for you. And Xane, some of our viewers will be watching this later because not everybody gets up in time to watch our show. No, just kidding. But it's something that would work for them if they're watching the replay too.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Good.
So you guys can save this video and keep watching it again and again and again.
Right. Yep. You can find those spots in your body that are, oh, we got rid of this one. Now let's try the next one. Let's try the next one. Yeah, definitely. And you can find these sorts of things on my YouTube channel as well. And I pretty much every video I have on my YouTube channel is a new activation. So plenty of material there. And that's
we're gonna have all the links up on top of this video once we're done with the technical issues.
Right.
But all the links are going to be at the top.
Very good.
Wow, that feels good. So I guess my next question is, because I think we're just about at a time. Some people are saying about how they felt that, and that was amazing. I'm reading the comments.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you two things. The first one is, what is the name of this software? StreamYard.com, because I know people are going to start asking me.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I wanted to ask you is, if you could give one tip to our viewers, what would that be? Based on your life experience and your own healing journey.
Mm-hmm. Well, oh boy, one tip. It's so hard to just boil it down into one. Here's the first thing I want to say to everyone. You are perfect. You've never made a mistake in your entire life. everything that you've ever done has been perfect, and it's gotten you to exactly where you are right now. So congratulations, you did it. And you can never make a mistake moving forward either. It's impossible. You will always get to exactly where you're supposed to get to. So just relax and enjoy the ride.
That's the best tip ever.
Yeah.
It takes all the pressure off.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't have to worry about it. Stop worrying about it. It's all perfect. You are source. You created all of us, and we created all of you, and
all the technical difficulties.
right. We did that all on purpose. So
right?
thank goodness
We
for
needed to
us.
try this new software. That's why.
Right. I am so grateful that I created this disaster that turned it into something beautiful.
That is awesome. So I just want to remind you that if you are watching this video and you enjoy this activation, you enjoyed this episode, please share. Go and share the light. Share it to everyone around you. And this is like so important stuff, but it's really interesting to see all the different techniques and modalities. And I'm learned so much from you today because I have not heard of the hathors before. And we talked so much about Atlantis or the Palladians, or we talked about the Syrians, but I never heard of the hathors before. But I did watch a few episodes online about like spirituality in the Egyptian time, but they never mentioned that name. So that kind of filled the pieces of the puzzle here.
Right. Oh, that's great. Yeah. That, and if you've ever heard of Tom Kenyon, he's probably the most famous Hathor channel. And I think he's finally retired, but he's been doing it for a long time. And he does a lot of voice work, which I do also on a longer activation. But it's really quite beautiful. He has quite the range, and he's been doing it, like I said, for 30 years or something. So that is actually a beautiful musical performance as well as a healing modality.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Xane, for being with us here today. It was really delightful.
Agreed. I had fun too.
And I know that I am going to be watching this over and over again.
All right.
Your voice is so soothing too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Right? April, did we have any other questions in the comments?
Just people commenting that they felt it as well, which Heidi mentioned. And I just want to mention that my neck and head feels much better now. I had a little bit of a tension there, and it's better. Thank you.
Yeah. Isn't that cool? Yes, you're so welcome.
All right.
Anything else you want to add, Heidi?
No, just thank you. And, folks, if you want to book in with Xane, like we said, the links will be around this video. And if you want to learn how to remove negative entities, please do. And then I can reach out to you. No, just kidding. I predict this course. So I'm just so amazed. I guess at the beginning of this, I didn't really understand how profound being able to remove your own entities is. It's just one of those things. It's like, no, you hire somebody else to do that. But so it's amazing. So thank you so much, Xane. And we will talk soon.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you. It'll be fun to have you on the Expo, Heidi. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you there.
Yes, so the link to register to the Higher Self Expo is right above this video. Make sure to register and to check out all the amazing light workers.
And just to say that Expo is free to register for, so make sure you guys do, and you'll get to experience more me. What's better than that? And obviously Xane too.
Wow, thank goodness for you, Heidi.
I'm joking. Okay, thanks guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.